Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. We just watched the New York Knicks get outclassed by the Miami Heat for 48 minutes of basketball, losing Game 3 in Miami, the final score being 105-86, and the New York Knicks now trail this second round Eastern Conference semifinals matchup versus the Miami Heat 1-2, and the history is definitely not on the New York Knicks side. When a team takes a 2-1 lead in a playoff series, they have a 73.3% chance of advancing to the next round. And wouldn't that be some shit? Obviously, the New York Knicks were that 8 seed back in 1999 that were able to make it to the NBA Finals. We were the last 8 seed that was able to do that, make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, you could say, as well as the Knicks beat on their way there. When we had Latrell Sprewell, when we had Allen Houston, Larry Johnson, and even more. We beat the Miami Heat. Allen Houston's floater, big time game winner. What a buzzer beater that was. And if the Heat beat the New York Knicks, that's going to absolutely suck. But the way this series is unfolding, the Miami Heat look like the way better basketball team. The New York Knicks were extremely physical with the Cleveland Cavaliers, but we expected this. The Heat are a way better coach team than the Cleveland Cavaliers. They know how to make adjustments. They actually have structure, and it looks like they have way more structure than the New York Knicks. They've looked like the better team in Game 1. I understand we didn't have Julius Randle, but they were way more physical. They were better shooting from beyond the arc. They trust the pass, their interior defense, their willingness to make adjustments, unlike a JB Bickerstaff. And yes, the New York Knicks found a way to come out victorious in Game 2 when the Miami Heat did not have Jimmy Butler because of that ankle injury that he went on to suffer in Game 1 with a little collision with Josh Hart. And I know we found a way to win that game. RJ Barrett went on to perform, have 24 points. Julius Randle, 25 points. Brunson, 30. And the Miami Heat still almost won that game. I know there's no almost. The Knicks found a way to win. Congrats to the New York Knicks. We won that game. We stepped up big time down the stretch. But we all know Jimmy Butler is going to get in your head mentally. He is the true leader on that team. He is the true captain of that offense and that defense. So I was always thinking throughout that game, when we had moments that we were struggling in Game 2, I'm like, imagine if they had Jimmy Butler. We might have lost that game and might have been in even more trouble. And we could have been in this position that we were down 3-0. Potentially, maybe we would have been even more hungry and found a way to come out victorious on the road in Miami. But let's push that aside. The Knicks found a way to win, but the Knicks got bitched for 48 minutes of basketball this game. Let's just get into this game. We're down 15-8 early. We win the tip. Mitchell Robinson wins the tip, back to Brunson, swings it to Randle in the corner. How do we set up this game offensively? Randle holds onto the ball for most of the shot clock, doesn't even move the basketball, results in a terrible shot. That's just not the way you want to start. And this Miami Heat team was way more physical than the New York Knicks. As Jimmy Butler summed up what made them so successful on the offense side of the basketball, attacking the basket very strong, using pump fakes, being unpredictable, as he got to the free throw line 10 times, and he really set the tone. He had 8 points in the first 2 minutes of this basketball game. He was just attacking, and it was awesome. He finished the game with 28 points, didn't make a lot of field goals, but free throws are a part of the game. I hate people that blame the players for, flopping, getting to the free throw line. That's part of the game. That's how the officials are going to call it. So, of course, he's going to continue to try to draw fouls and get to the free throw line, and he played an excellent game. He didn't force anything, and he was one of the main reasons that he were successful. They were way more physical. They were able to dribble penetrate against us. They did a fantastic job, the Miami Heat. They came out with a game plan. They trust the pass, even with Jimmy Butler back. And Jimmy Butler, if he sees a player thriving, he wants to continue to thrive, help that player thrive with confidence. He's going to give the ball to that player in the right spot, and that was Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo was the main X factor alongside of Julius Randle when it came to being successful in this playoff series. How is Bam going to be on the offense side of the basketball? We know he's going to be relatively well on the boards, but how's he going to be physicality-wise? How's he going to be defensively? And Bam was a beast defensively. He was very good when it came to the boards. He was extremely physical. Obviously, there was that one awful call that the refs didn't catch. The refs are absolutely atrocious, but obviously no excuse. The New York Knicks absolutely sucked in this game when Bam initially made contact with RJ Barrett, but then they didn't see the contact until late that RJ did foul Bam, but it should have been initially an offensive foul by Bam Adebayo. But that's besides the point. Bam was a beast in the interior. He had 17 points. He finished his game with 12 rebounds, and we just couldn't stop him. Mitchell Robinson foul trouble early. I believe he barely played 20 minutes or didn't play 20 minutes. He had 4 fouls. He had 5 rebounds. He wasn't good. Hartenstein came in the game. He wasn't good either. And you could say this team played hard, but they didn't play smart, and the Heat got those 50-50 balls. They out-rebounded us. Obviously, they didn't out-rebound us by a ton, because this is pretty much a garbage time game for 48 minutes of basketball. We had moments and it's like, oh, maybe we're starting to go on a little bit of a run to cut it to like 11 points, because that's how low the bar was, because we were trailing by 21 points at one point in this basketball game, but we can't hit an open three. You know, when there finally is some structure and we move the ball, it's like Randall, kick out Brunson. Let's start this run here. Misses a three. It's short. You know, RJ Barrett starts off that third quarter very well, driving to the basket. We're trying to cut into that deficit. You know, nice kick out. RJ's not able to cash in from beyond the arc. But the thing that was just so funny is that the New York Knicks shot better from three than Miami Heat, and we lost by this much. That's the scary thing. We lost this game 105-86, and they made less threes than us, but you have to take a look at the shot diet. You have to take a look at the context. The New York Knicks might have made 8 threes, but we attempted 40 threes. We were 8 of 40 from beyond the arc, while the Heat, they struggled, but they took 8 less shots than us from beyond the arc. They were 7 of 32 from 3. So not having Gabe Vincent on is concerning. We knew Caleb Martin wasn't going to be crazy good offensively because he was in Jimmy Butler's spot in the starting unit, so we knew he wasn't going to get as many shots. But I didn't really understand our game plan from the start of this game when we were trapping Kyle Lowry. And then it's like, all right, yeah, let's trap Kyle Lowry, top of the key. Do we not realize that's Duncan Robinson right next to him or Max Strus right next to him? Again, you could say the officials were bad. They doubled our free throws, but true Knicks fans, I watched this game. They were way more physical. They wanted it more. Again, the 50-50 balls, the pursuit of the basketball was really there by the Miami Heat. And despite them not splashing it from the outside, they found ways, because despite them struggling from three, those guys are still threats. It's like, you never know. Duncan Robinson could be 0 for 3, but he could catch fire, so we still need to contest him. Same thing with a Max Strus. Same thing with the Gabe Vincent. Well, the Knicks don't have threats like that, so that opens up their interior offense to the Heat, because they still have those shot makers, which resulted in them outscoring us in the paint 50-36. And they got to the free throw line. They were able to dribble penetrate past our defense. When Quickly was in this game before he got injured, send prayers out to Quickly. Hopefully he's a speedy recovery and it's not bad. It looked kind of bad, but I hope it's not. And God's on his side. I hope he's on his side. But Lowry, you saw the physicality, you saw the how long he's been in this league, you know, the way he was physical with Quickly, knocked him off his spot, got to the basket. They just bitched us. Zeller came in the game, was a beast. Kevin Love didn't put up crazy stats. He's never crazy athletic in his career, but the positioning's still there. You know, the tap outs he was able to bring to the table. And I know we out-rebounded them on the offensive glass by 1. But this game, it was like really garbage time. When we went on a little bit of a run, again, a little bit of a run is literally summing up. We cut a 21-point lead to like a freaking 15-point lead when there's like 4 minutes left. Time wasn't on our side. You know, Grimes hit a 3. You had Brunson that hit a couple buckets. But Butler comes in, tough-ass shot over Josh Hart. Josh Hart got his rebounds. He played hard. And we have to put it into context. Josh Hart has never been this fantastic three-point shooter. I know we ended the season strong, shooting 50% from 3 at the end of the regular season with the New York Knicks, but if you watch him throughout his career, he's been very up and down. When he came over from Portland, he was shooting 30%. So you can't count on him as a three-point shooter. So I did like the aggression. I thought he played tough, and there were some tough shots made on him. The bench didn't step up along with their starters, and you're not shooting well from 3, you're not finding ways to score in the paint, you're in trouble. You're in absolute trouble if you can't find other ways to score. When there's times I'm like, why is Randall out there that long? I know Obi's been very up and down in the playoffs, but I'm like, let's see if Obi can give us a spark here. I didn't like Tibbs' rotations at times. And it's Tom Thibodeau's job as well. I know we want to give credit to Eric Spoelstra, fantastic coach. You know, he's held up a Larry O'Brien trophy a couple times. You know, back-to-back times with Miami Heat. You know, LeBron, Chris Bosh, you know, Ray Allen, Dwayne Wade. And held one up when it was Shaquille O'Neal and Dwayne Wade before LeBron got there. And he has the willingness to make adjustments. You know, his interior defense is extremely good. You know, he's daring us to shoot threes. So you want to say you want adjustments to be made to this offense, but we don't have the three-point shooters. Like, we don't have it tailor-made to excel from 3 and just catch fire all of a sudden. We're going to be up and down. We didn't shoot it well in that Cavs series, but we got lucky that they don't have a coach that's willing to make adjustments, and the Cavs weren't a good three-point shooting team either. But again, it didn't just come down to three-point shooting. We made 1 more 3 than them, but they were able to dribble penetrate. They were able to be way more physical and get to the free throw line. Quickly up and down, hit a couple threes, hit our first 3 of the freaking game in that second quarter. It was just so bad, the three-point shooting. But it's just like a roller coaster with Quickly. He'll hit a couple shots, and it's just like, what's that shot? Come on, Quick. You just got bitched to the basket. But Kyle Lowry, I do have a lot of respect for Kyle Lowry. But there's so many times they're just tapping the ball. I'm like, just grab the freaking ball. Like, there goes another second chance opportunity. Like, when they set the tone, they got the more offensive rebounds. If you truly watch this game, Mitchell Robinson foul trouble early, 4 fouls, 5 rebounds. Like, the centers played like shit. They got bitched around. We allowed dribble penetration at times. And when they didn't score, it's just like our offense, like when our defense was playing a little relatively well, it's just like doesn't matter. Our offense is so bad. We had no answer for their defense. You know, Brunson, he had 20 points in this game. But if you watch the game, the Heat did a good job speeding him up. He was 0 for 5 from 3. You can count on him to hit threes, but not this game. Like, and he's been up and down the playoffs shooting the 3 ball. He's been good from mid-range, you know, the floater, attacking the basket, getting to the free throw line. He's shooting 90% from the free throw line in the playoffs. But it comes down to force him to not play his game, and I felt the Heat did that because he shot 41% of the regular season, but you know it's not a crazy volume. Brunson did finish with 8 assists, but there's just no rhythm. There's just no rhythm. You got to give credit to the Heat defense. But, I mean, Brunson missed him, like, a couple easy shots I usually go in, but then he missed some contested ones. Like, the Heat made him work for shots, and that's what good teams do. The Heat are a good team. You may look at 8th seed, but their offense, they had the #1 offensive rating in the playoffs in that Bucks series. They start playing well defensively, or even better defensively and offensively at the end of the season. Their offense is tailor-made for their players, and they play their players throughout their strengths. But you could say you need more from Brunson. I remember he missed a easy shot from mid-range at the beginning of the game when it was like RJ, I believe, got a bucket early. But I'm like, all right, we need someone else to step up. And I'm not saying RJ played well. I didn't think anyone played really well. I'm not pointing fingers at one player. A lot of players need to do better. RJ's been playing good basketball, especially offensively, since those first couple games that he struggled against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Really got to give credit to RJ Barrett. And he had some nice finishes around the basket, but it's like 3-point shots you got to knock down. I know he missed an easy one, but defensively this team didn't step up. Overall, the personnel, there's times like everyone was standing around. There's times Brunson was standing around, RJ standing around. We just weren't playing smart. You needed more from Julius Randle, way more from Julius Randle. What do you have, 10 points? I know he crashed the glass, 12 rebounds, or he might have 14 rebounds. But there's those possessions, I'm like, is this dude just standing around? Because, yes, you look at double digits of rebounds, but there's certain sequences, I'm like, why is no one trying to box out? We can't just count on our center, Mitchell Robinson or Hartenstein. You got to still help out your teammate. Kevin Love still has good positioning on those tap outs. Bam Adebayo's been a beast. And I just didn't like Randall's approach. If he was healthy enough to drop 25 points last game, he's healthy enough to play well in this game, but they have their leader of Butler. Obviously, he had that big-time shot when we're going on a little bit of a run in that fourth quarter. Tough shot over Josh Hart. But I don't want to be negative. But the way this Knicks team's looking right now, when there's no offensive versatility, when the Heat have made adjustments to that, and we just hope Randall plays better. Played good last game, but it's just like there's more pressure when Butler's out there on the floor. Butler's willing to take on assignments, so communication's better. Everyone's in the right spot at the right time. This is a way better oiled machine when Butler's on that basketball floor for the Miami Heat. But Randall, it's all mental with this dude. I never doubt his talent, but just making the right decisions, knowing to kick out. He only had 2 assists if you're not scoring, but then also we can't make freaking open threes anyway. So that's why there's not just one blame on one person, that there is nice kickouts when we finally moved the ball, but we didn't execute from beyond the arc. But Randall got, like, Bam. He had moments. Bam pitched Randall. He was way more physical than Randall. This team got bitch again on the 50-50 balls. Zeller came in. He played like a stud. You know, at the beginning of this game, they really set the tone defensively when RJ did this fading away shot. It wasn't really maybe it was a fadeaway, kind of little push shot. Butler just fucking stuffed that shit around his face. They set the tone. And they were way better. The Knicks, when any chance, they gotta punch back. They need to show that they're physical as shit too. And I didn't get that vibe at all from this club. But you need more consistency from Quickly. Obi, I felt he played soft, honestly. And he's going to be limited in the offense when you're not pushing it and getting easy buckets in the Heat. Their defense was good. I know the Miami Heat had more turnovers than us. But when it came to the first half, when they were playing their best basketball, they didn't have a lot of turnovers. But Strus found ways to get to the free throw line. He had 19 points, hit a few threes. He set the tone early as well for the Miami Heat. Duncan Robinson hit a 3 early. He didn't have some crazy pop-off game, but again, there's some shots. It's like, that's an open look, and we're just so lucky they didn't knock him down. We made him work for some shots, but the offense atrocious. Tom Thibodeau, you just got to find ways, I guess. I'm not a coach. Obviously, I'm not close with Tom Thibodeau, but we need to start designing some unpredictable offense. We're going to have to get a shooter this upcoming offseason, if it's Seth Curry or whatever. I'm not saying to be our starter, but Grimes, the air ball to layup in transition, played some tough defense at times, hit a three later in the game, and it was kind of that fake comeback we've seen from the New York Knicks before. Like, they fought hard, but we just didn't play smaller basketball. The Heat are just better. They're better. We got to accept that. Until the Knicks prove otherwise, they're the better team.